Always the usual, the mask. I think I'm good. We can get it. We can get it going. Emo's the witness, and I'm back for a Freestyle Friday. As you know, this is the Phil Show. Standing for the fuck I look like, and we're downtown at 120 East Market Street, where you can catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, from 10 to 11 a.m. Wave One Media, 120 East Market Street. Please like that subscribe button. Hit me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram as well. A hot new political show. I'm your host, I'm your witness, I'm your guide, where we dig into the politics of today. Where we look at our leaders, we look at these issues in detail, and we try to hold some accountability to all these things going on in the world and try to make sense of it all. So I'm your guide, I'm your host. I'm here to bring it to you live and here to bring you a new perspective from a citizen's angle. So my man Malik, let's get into it, man. Let's dig into the background music. Let's see what's going on here in the world today. It's a Freestyle Friday, you guys. So like I said, we jump into a little bit of everything here at Emo's the Witness. We like to get into the touch a little bit of everything and every aspect on a Friday before you go into the weekend, and just kind of make sure you guys are fully informed on what's going on, because this world is crazy and it's forever changing. So I want to take this time to let you know that I start this show, of course, to be a new voice. Very so often we've noticed in the past 5 years, or for me longer than that the mainstream media is not always in your corner. It's not always setting out to give you the news straight up, to be I guess unbiased. They tell you they're unbiased, but at the same time they're misleading you and they're guiding you in a certain way to think a certain way. And and it's okay, I guess, in a sense, as long as you're aware of that. But what's important is that you need to be aware of that, and you also need to make sure that you lend your own voice, and you also get a different angle, a different news source from every time you actually seek out information, because they're not always trying to bring it to you straight. So this show is created to actually try to bring it to you straight, at least try to analyze what's going on, try to watch out from the snakes and watch out from the deceit. So we're going to hold our political leaders accountable with it on this show, as well as Hollywood elite, corporate industry leaders, and anybody who has the influence and power to kind of sway you. We're gonna make sure you do it for the good or for the better. Not for the bad, not for the bad, rather. Here, you must win the show. Hit that like, subscribe button. Again, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, live from 10 to 11 a.m. We want to bring in the news and all the information, and actually go deeper as well into these past investigations. As you know, the Russian investigation is still going on. We have a lot of issues still going on. A lot of voter integrity issues going on from the past 2020 election that we still need to review and go back and analyze and make sure that our voting rights are still established and still strong. And we're ready to go coming into 2022 and 2024, the primaries and the next election for the president. Gotta be ready for it. It's too important. We also have, the Ukraine investigation going on with Hunter Biden. That's still going on. People aren't really aware of that. That's actually a criminal probe regarding his taxes, and it's all going to link up. So like on Wednesday, I'd like to bring that up. I'd like to bring up the investigation and go into that in detail, as well as cover a politician in a deeper manner as well, into a potential corrupt politician and their background. I'll do that every Wednesday as well. But here on Friday, we do a Freestyle Friday. We get into the news. We become witnesses, and we just kind of try to have a little bit of fun. But there's a lot of ominous and dire bad news out there, to be honest with you. I mean, there's still some confusion with COVID, even though we're uplifting the mask mandate. But my man, I came across this the other day, Malik. This guy right here, the longest and highest glass bridge in the world. Apparently, for the USA Today and a lot of other news, a man was left clinging to the rails of a glass-bottom bridge in China after a strong wind shattered panels. But it's vacation season, so you're gonna see crazy shit like this happening. Roller coasters malfunctioning, people necks snapping off, and Well, look, a man walking on a glass bottom bridge in China was left stranded temporarily after some panels shattered underneath his feet. The Pinyin Mountain Bridge, located in the city of Longjin, China, was hit with gust force winds that damaged glass panels on the walkway, leaving tourists clinging to the rails on Friday, per The Guardian. A picture of the man hanging onto the rails with multiple glass panels missing was shared on Sina Weibo, a Chinese social media platform. Weibo, pretty much. The bridge is more than 300 feet high and was reportedly hit with winds up to 93 miles per hour before rescue teams are able to rescue the man at 1:20 p.m. on Friday. There were no casualties after being kept at the hospital for observation. The trapped person who was in stable emotional and physical condition and has been discharged from the hospital, says officials to CNN. Now, what would you guys do? You know, because Malik, going on vacation, man, you gotta, there's a lot of detail involved in that. There's a lot of planning, a lot of preparation. You want to have a perfect vacation, you want everything to go well. Like, what is your biggest fear when you go on vacation? Say like you're going on a week long trip to Australia.
It's gonna sound lame, but probably like losing my wallet getting my wallet stolen or my phone. Both of those stolen to the point where like it'd be like a big hassle for me to like either get back home or say I don't know how to get to like my Airbnb or my hotel and like that'd be.
So losing your luggage doesn't really matter. I mean, you can
I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah. See,
I hope it happens.
That seems like to be like a normal thing nowadays. Is people losing some luggage, but yeah, losing your wallet, losing your money, losing your phone. I mean, really anything. Anything to me. I'm like anything can happen on the way to the hotel, or anything that happened at once you get to your room is when you can probably take a deep breath. Once you actually check in and get to your bed. But like really, man, when you're on vacation, man, like it's tough, man, because you can have something fuck you up in the beginning. Let's say you lose your wallet, and then you won't get back to that hotel loving, peaceful experience you've been dreaming about until like that Thursday, and then your ass is leaving on Friday. And that's some shit. That's shit that usually happens to some people like that. When you go on vacation, you lose your luggage, you finally get your luggage back. And you spent 2 or 3 days trying to do that shit, and then you look up and next time you go back to the airport to go back home. And that'll fuck your whole experience up. Can you imagine you going on a bridge and the panels break?
I'm looking at it like there's no way that it went from 0 to 93 miles per hour.
Gale Force winds. You're high up there. I mean, I wouldn't even go up on there if I knew Gale Force winds was coming. But still, man, that's some scary shit, boy. Woo. I mean, I guess that's the way to go out, though.
It would be pretty cool.
Wouldn't it be pretty cool? Like, how you tell your grandkids, like, yeah, your uncle Ronnie died. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he died all the way in Jiangyin, China. He died doing what? Man, glass panels broke under his feet. He fell 300 feet. 500 feet to his death. 93 miles an hour winds. The only motherfucker that died? Be like, oh, well, eat your food. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, damn, Ronnie was a dumbass. Why was he up there? He's the only one on the bridge, auntie. Eat your food. You bottled up, motherfucker. Eat your food. Shit. Well, anyway, let me continue. But yeah, man, it's like vacation time. I want you guys to, enjoy your vacations out there. I know you guys out there planning it. You ready to have a good time. Just, hey, don't go out like Uncle Ronnie. Make sure you plan it. Get a good travel agent. Don't cut no corners. Your ass be kneed up, scraped up on a scooter somewhere in Cambodia. You get too extravagant. Take your ass to Cancun like everybody else. Yeah, slide off a motherfucking edge of a mountain somewhere. Trying to look at some Aztecs. Don't do it. Definitely all these people out here with crypto now, boy. Everybody getting paid off cryptocurrency now. They probably flying personal jets now down to these islands. Everybody got money now. If you're in that crypto game. A lot of people just looking confused. What the fuck is Coinbase? How do I log in? How do I buy it? Too late. Too motherfucking late. It ain't too late, but I'm just saying. You're missing the boat, y'all out there, Americans out there. Get your head in the game. Hey, you got any crypto, Malik? I'm just personal question. I guess it is. It's gonna be soon.
Yeah, I got Dogecoin and Bitcoin.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I got it early. Well, I didn't get Dogecoin that early, but I got Bitcoin.
That's good, man.
Probably when it was at like 9,000, I think.
Oh wow, that's good. Yeah, I got a little Bitcoin. I got a little bit of Ethers. I don't know Dogecoin yet. I feel like Dogecoin might be a gimmick.
Yeah, I
Honestly,
think it's a gimmick too, but I still got some when it was
yeah.
cheap.
I didn't get. I missed that one, but now it's like now it's like it's so many out there. Now it's like now to me now I feel like it's a game. Now there's so many fucking coins out there. You don't know what the hell's going on. You got now if you pick one low, I mean shit, you put enough money in it, it'll just pop up a few bucks. You're instant thousandaire. Are you hundredaires ready to be thousandaires out there right before spring break, or right before the summer hits? I encourage you to do it. So yeah, I bought a little bit more. I got a couple few out there. I'll throw some out there. I like ICP. They're kind of small, kind of low right now.
ICP. So I thought that was like a electric company or something.
No, it's like it's called internet. It's called internet computer. Oh shit! It's supposed to rival Ethers. It's like real cheap right now. Ethers is like 3,800, and ICP is supposed to be faster than Ether. It's kind of like the backbone of all this technology that coming out. I guess from what I've been reading. But it's like about 300 right now, I think, a share. I think, but supposed to be up there. Oh no, I just bought a little bit of that, and a little bit of small ones and see if they come up. Anyway, like I said, people are enjoying that little boom right now. I wonder where that's going to lead us, but I think it'll lead to inflation of or reduction in the U.S. dollar. That coupled with you have competing currencies, and it seems like to be the trend of the youth and the trend of the world is going more digital with the currency. So you're going to see that strengthen over time. You'll see these numbers continue to go up. So how does that affect other currencies? So I think you combine that in addition to the Biden administration and its policies, and we'll get into that in today's show. Kind of check that temperature and kind of see what damage they've done thus far and what we're looking at ahead in the future. And I have a lot of information regarding that. A lot of people's a lot of sense of what people are thinking and how they're feeling at this stage in the administration. So we'll get into that as well. You must witness the Phil's show. So what the fuck I look like downtown at 120 East Market Street. Get down here and get you a show as well. I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. Sometimes we're late, sometimes we're not. But hit that like, subscribe button. Catch me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Website coming soon. Hey, is this still Market Street? Because if you look down the street, there's it's called Brodius.
I think they're doing that for Indy 500.
So that's one of the racers.
Yeah,
I guess.
believe so.
When is the 500? About a couple weeks or like this week?
I believe May 28th. I'm not a.
That's
not
weird.
sure.
I mean, I remember back in the day, boy, when it was like the 500 at its heyday, you would just avoid the whole west side of town because you didn't want to get stuck in that traffic. That traffic would hit hard. And I know we got the North Split going through some construction, so I wonder how that's going to pan out. I guess people aren't really navigating too much because of the pandemic. But speaking of, I'll touch on that for a little bit before I get into politics. But apparently, we can lift it's a mask mandate. We can let me see. Apparently, let me find my 10 things you need to know. So for CNN and Washington Post, CDC says fully vaccinated people don't have to wear masks indoors. The CDC said Thursday that it was safe for people who have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19 to go without a mask or practicing social distancing in most situations, indoors or outdoors. We have longed for this moment when we can get back to some sense of normalcy, said the CDC Director Rochelle Walensky said in a briefing. If you are fully vaccinated, you can start doing things that you had stopped doing because of the pandemic. The guidance doesn't apply when masks are required by state, local, or tribal law or business policies. Masks still will be required on airplanes, buses, trains, and other public transportation. At health care facilities, jails, and homeless shelters, unvaccinated people are still advised to wear a mask. So, I don't know. This might be the beginning of maybe two approaches, right? In my opinion, this is going to be a situation where if you're not wearing a mask, you're vaccinated, you're safe, you're healthy. There's going to be a situation where if you're wearing a mask and you're walking around wearing a mask, that means you didn't get vaccinated. And there may be a level of shame with that. People may ridicule you, look at you sideways because they know that you don't have the vaccine.
I'm just waiting for when they make us put a star on our chest or something to indicate if we're vaccinated or not.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think they're going to make you require you wear a special mask. Like if you just one of the people you refuse to get a mask, refuse to get a vaccine, you have to wear. I guess you could still be kind of obscured because I guess you have to still wear these masks in certain public places like airports and airplanes. But in a normal situation, like I guess if you go to a club, how would you know? How would the establishment know that you got vaccinated? So I guess those who got vaccinated were a star, right? You don't get because they're gonna pass these stars out. Like they probably put on your driver's license. That's probably what they're gonna do. That's what they're gonna do. You go to the
they
club.
do that. Oh god.
They're gonna do that shit. That's what you're gonna go to. You're gonna go to a club. You're gonna be sitting in line. If you don't have that gold star on your shit, get out the line, and you're gonna be looking embarrassed with a fucking weird ass mask, cool ass suit, but you can't get in. And there's gonna be a level of shame coming on. You know that's the next level, and that's good. We're into the cartoonish nature of it now. We're not. It maybe the and maybe some weird. Maybe some weird. See, that's what I don't understand. Like, have the numbers changed? I guess the numbers have went down. I guess I don't know. I gotta look at the latest numbers, but I don't remember them being some kind of reduction. I mean, I thought there's still a level of fear out here, but there's no more mask if you got vaccinated, which is cool. I'm with that. I guess we're getting closer to herd immunity, from what I'm hearing. We're opening up vaccines for ages 12 to 15. And see, I think that's a good step. I think what's going on right now is we're trying to get this we're trying to get the pandemic and COVID out of the main national conversation. I think we're trying to find a way to kind of like, okay, let's put this on the B tier, you know, as far as the national dialogue, because we've been talking about this for so long. It's summertime. We don't have all the answers. There's a lot of mixed news out there with these vaccines and who's leading the charge and it was also good to know. And I think I mentioned that last episode. Is that CDC 10% number that they brought up that was way off regarding outdoor transmissions of this virus. And I don't think I got into detail on Wednesday because I was doing the investigation Wednesday. But if I got time, I'll bring that article back up. But you're starting to see like a pushback. You're starting to see a partial opening. You're starting to see a withering of support for like this abundance of fear in mainstream media. You've already seen politicians kind of push back at like, some of these CDC officials, and Dr. Fauci and whatnot. But of course, they had an article. They had an article, how the CDC misled the percentage of I guess outdoor transmission, how it affects it. I think it was like a 10%. It was a 10% hang up, and I'll bring the article so I can be more accurate about it. But I'll bring the article up about it here at Most of Witness. We'll talk about that here shortly. But a lot of misleading information over the past year. It's time for us to get past this dialogue and open up. Because we don't know what the hell's going on with this virus. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to see that we have, we're opening up. We're kind of lowering the mask mandate. It's still, be vigilant, be cautious. These businesses will still do what's necessary, what's right. It's good to kind of still have that precaution out there in public places. But let's open up. Let's do that. And that's good to see. So I want to talk about politics too. I want to talk about on this Freestyle Friday. Republicans appear to be united. I'm going both ways with this because I feel like they are united in some situations, and then sometimes they're not. But when they get these victories inside their party, and it goes, in favor of, in my opinion, the people and Trump and the Republican Party, the movement that they're spearheading. It's good when they get these inside victories inside their own party. And so this morning, the GOP voted to replace Liz Cheney with, and I finally got her name, Stefanik, after backing from Trump. So let me read a little bit about this, though. House Republicans on Friday, pop-ups. House Republicans on Friday elevated Rep. Elise Stefanik, Republican from New York, to replace the Republican Liz Cheney from Wyoming as the party's conference chair, capping a tumultuous 3-week stretch that exposed the deep divisions in the conference beholden to President Trump. Stefanik, who was backed by Trump and top House GOP leaders, easily defeated Rep. Chip Roy, a member of the conservative House Freedom Caucus, who launched a last-minute challenge over concerns Stefanik's voting record was too liberal. The vote was 134 to 46. Other Republicans, Rep. Jim Jordan, Virginia Fox, and Kathy McMorris, each received a single vote, and 9 lawmakers voted present. Heading into the vote, Stefanik brushed aside those criticisms, pledging that she'd fight to keep Republicans as one voice heading to the 2020 midterm elections, where they like their odds of flipping the control of the House. Quote, we are unified at making sure that we will win the majority and that we will focus on the damage that the Biden Pelosi agenda is doing across America. And we will talk about that damage they're doing right now pretty soon. She found to reporters on Thursday night after making a pitch to GOP colleagues. Okay, so that was a closed door vote and they ousted Cheney, right? So we needed that. Like I mentioned, you guys, Liz Cheney is one of those never Trumpers. About one of 10 Senate Republicans who, in their minds, they feel like they're defending the Republican Party and the old establishment, and they think their posture and you know they're being a deterrent and their values is actually they're on the side of the Republican Party and the people, and they're not. You know, as we noticed what we went this past 4 years, this is a party that's undergoing a change, a big change, and it's going towards the side of more of a nationalistic movement, where their leader is Donald Trump. They like his policies, they like his fight, they like his you know what he stands for, and that really can't be denied. Like and you know honestly, man, if you really look at things in a perspective that's very objective, you will see that you can't defeat the truth. You can't defeat what's real. So this man has been coming at people, has been coming at politicians, foreign leaders, business leaders, entertainment leaders, directly, in your face, confrontations about policies and aspects that better the lives of the American people. And it worked. You know, when you look at reciprocal trade, you look at all the foreign deals, you look at the peace through strength initiatives, you look at the peace we had with North Korea, the fight against prescription drugs, the fight against minimum wage and increasing wages, rather, not a fight against minimum wage, but increasing wages overall amongst all people, lowering the jobless rate. You have something totally opposite going on right now. But needless to say that's what the American people really voted for. Not only that, but someone with a strong voice. You know, those mean tweets don't sound so mean right now. I do it with $3 gas prices, do they? Mean tweets don't seem too mean now. You know, when you look at all the threats going on in the world as far as foreign policy, you know, when you look at hacks and ransomware attacks on our gas pipelines, you know, where are the IRS tax refunds? That's damn near May. But they still want to give you these little articles about the stimulus. Oh, we're rolling out the fourth round of the stimulus. I mean, damn, shit. Okay, thank you for the news. I got my check back in January. Let's move on from stimulus checks. You want to toot that horn how long? How are we doing immigration? How's the border wall looking? Those mean tweets don't sound too mean now, do they? T-Dogg the prayers, y'all. Let's keep it real. Emotional witness, y'all, the Phil Show. Fuck I look like, okay? 120 East Market Street. Come down, hit that like, subscribe button on YouTube. Like me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Downtown live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, baby. Way One Media, 120 East Market Street. Come down and get you a show. Lend your voice, lend your opinion. This is a Freestyle Friday, y'all. So yeah, like I said, you know, it's a good news to see that the Republicans are starting to unite. You're starting to see them coalesce under one voice. They got rid of Liz Cheney and they're keeping their eyes on the other never Trumpers. And you might still see a continued purge. And by the time you get to 2022 election, you will see a unified Republican Party. And you're seeing some attack dogs too, man. You're seeing some young Republican leaders who aren't afraid to speak their minds in the halls of Congress. If you know what happened this week, let's go to that article regarding what's her name? Well, actually, before I do that, I want before I get into Green, just to confirm that this ousting of Liz Cheney is some kind of bad maneuver. The people stand with this, even the people in Wyoming. Here's an article from New York Times. What voters in Wyoming say about Liz Cheney's lonely stand. Okay, and look, I finally paid for that damn subscription, so we can actually get back into New York Times now. So we go and pay that little $4 a year, cheap ass. But anyway, on the in Cheyenne, Wyoming, let me read this a little bit. I can't wait to get to the quotes. On a Prairie Hill, they got these nice little these journalistic type intros. They try to get their chops up. These journalists. On a Prairie Hill on the rolling highway into Wyoming's capital city looms a billboard with the beaming face of the state's lone congressional representative Liz Cheney. With huge letters, it declares, "Thank you, Rep. Cheney, for defending the Constitution." Some local Republicans see Cheney's lonesome stand against former President Donald Trump's lies about a stolen election and her refusal to back down is an example of true Wyoming grit and independence. But many others are quick to point out that the billboard was put up by an out-of-state dark money group, a sign of outsiders meddling, and among locals in this state that voted in a landslide for Trump. Few are thankful for much of anything Cheney has done lately and have vowed to vote her out of office. Now, quote, she broke our trust. I won't vote for her again, says James Cresswell as he sat on the front steps of a small craftsman house in the central part of town on Wednesday. He wore a frayed army hat, marking the time he served on a tank crew in Iraq, an American flag flapped with the spring sunshine. Wyoming is rich in coal and other fossil fuels, and the mining and drilling are a major source of jobs and tax revenue. Trump championed those industries and loosened mineral leasing regulations. Under President Joe Biden, who temporarily paused oil and mineral leases on federal land, has vowed to move the nation away from fossil fuels, the industry faces a more uncertain future. It's hard for many locals to stomach criticism of a president who they say stood up for their values. So imagine that you were in this coal industry, this energy industry, and you have all these loose regulations that weren't needed, and you have a spurring economy. It all goes away, and the person that you supported, that you thought was going to lead and support your initiatives, went opposite. It went against your leader. So you asked him out of office. That's how it should go. Your leader's got to represent you, and your initiatives, your interests. So if I vote you in office and you go in there and do something totally different, that's not what I voted you in for. I don't care who you are. And Liz Cheney is going around, giving these press conferences, and she's speaking about how she's this lone independent voice, and she's going to continue to defend the Republican Party and Trump and stand up against Trump's lies and deceit. The American people don't agree with you. The mainstream media wants to support that narrative as well. They're supporting Liz Cheney trying to make the Trump administration look bad, or the Trump legacy, or the Republican Party look bad for this ouster. But that's not how the American people feel. And this is an example. This article is showing you. This guy is like, hey, she broke our trust. But there's another narrative there's a perpetual narrative that's going on, and they won't show you this side. You'll get a perpetual narrative every day in the mainstream media about maybe a Republican Civil War or breakup, or how this is a bad ouster, or just keep propping up Liz Cheney, whose dad is Dick Cheney, a former Republican warmonger in the Bush administration. And if she wasn't in the situation, and if Dick Cheney was probably doing something in the national realm or the worldly realm, in a normal situation, the media would be against him. But if anything against Trump, anything against lessening his legacy and influence, they're gonna go for it. And they're gonna be supporting Liz Cheney throughout. She'll probably start doing some CNN shows, and you just start seeing her just form this never Trumper movement, inside the Republican Party, and I think it won't go well. It won't go well. And she'll continue to lose her influence, and she may lose her seat in the Senate pretty soon as a result. She already lost her third. She already lost her seat as chairman. So congratulations on that. I think the Republican Party are cleaning house as they should. Whenever you get advantage to, you need to have a unified party. And like I said, they got some fighters, man. They got some dogs, some young leaders that aren't afraid to stand up to the old establishment, either in the House of the Democratic or the Republican House. And let's look at Green. This next article from Yahoo, from Fox News. Green tries to confront AOC as asked why she supports terrorist and Antifa, report. I'll read that over again. Green tries to confront AOC, asked why she supports terrorists and Antifa, per report. And this regarding Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's a Republican from Georgia. She's a newly established congresswoman. And she was going after AOC, which is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who's a Democratic liberal firebrand, as you guys may know. Now, before I get to the article, what I'm kind of like premise is pretty much just how, I was reading, this is from Fox News, so I was reading a couple other articles about this topic. And, what I got from pretty much is that, the young Republicans are really trying to confront and really trying to debate the Democrats on the issues, on the policies. So, Democrats have like I told you, have a tendency to pull on your emotional strings, to take topics and make headlines, make quotes and comments and tweets that causes some kind of fury over any kind of topic, but they won't dig into the issue. They won't dig into the policies. They won't debate you, and they won't debate you because they don't want to. They don't want because they know they're on the wrong side of the argument. They're on the wrong side. They're truly on the wrong side of the majority of the people's interest. So when you get them in a corner, you back them into the corner where they got to address the issues purely for what they are and on their merits. They go to the emotion. They pull on the racial undertones of the world, of the society, and they try to distract you. And that's the deceitful nature of their leadership. Not to mention the corruption. So how can you have any kind of leadership? How can you have any kind of leader? Why would you want anybody in those kind of positions when they maneuver and they move like snakes? Maybe you don't see it, but I've witnessed it and I've seen it for the past 6, 7, maybe longer than that years, and I've been fed up about it. So, Emos to Witness show, hit that like, subscribe button. We're digging into these issues. We hold truth to power. We try to avoid being deceived, and we find those leaders who are in power that try to deceive us and don't have our best interest. We need to make sure 2022 and beyond, every election, every chance we get, state, local, national, we make a decision. We make the right decision. My job, hopefully, we all become witnesses and you're informed about what's going on. So right now, like I said, we got a cleaning up of the Republican Party, a real cleanup, draining of the swamp. And, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I don't know too much about her, but just from reading some of the headlines and things like that, I know that she's definitely out there in regards to her ideas and her issues, her beliefs. And not too far out there. It's just really a pushback against establishment views and establishment leadership. She's like one of those people that kind of snuck in, kind of got in office, and kind of like is kind of shaking the cage. And the ones who shake the cage are the ones who get the headlines, like the AOCs and the Matt Gaetz, things like that. So, AOC, she's been in the headlines for years. She's very influential. And she makes a lot of brash statements, and a lot of times they're false, and a lot of times they're just used to kind of shake the cage and divide people and cause all kind of rancor. So I guess let me read this article. Rep. Major Taylor Greene tried to aggressively confront Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on Wednesday, shouting questions about why the New York Democrat supports terrorists and Antifa. The two reporters from the Washington Post said they witnessed the interaction outside the House chamber. The report said Greene yelled to Ocasio-Cortez and the Democratic continued to walk. Greene reportedly tried to catch up and continued to ask questions. Greene also brought up her desire to debate Ocasio-Cortez, the paper said. At one point, Greene reportedly shouted, "You don't care about the American people." And that's true. Neither of the office responded to after hours email, and Fox News is seeking comment. The Post reported that Ocasio-Cortez never stopped to talk, but at one point she turned around to throw her hands in the air in exasperated motion. Okay, so whatever that was about. A spokeswoman from Ocasio-Cortez's office told the paper that the office hopes leadership and the sergeant at arms will take real steps to make Congress a safe, civil place for all members and staff. Okay, the statement mentioned an unnamed representative who moved her office, Rep. Cori Bush, moved her office to be farther from Greene. Greene had been calling on Ocasio-Cortez to debate her for some time. Last month, she tweeted a photo of the two speaking on the House floor. She tweeted, "I'm glad I ran to you today, AOC, to plan our debate about the Green New Deal. After I finished reading all 14 pages, we agreed, I'll schedule time for our debate." The Post said that Greene addressed the small group of reporters shortly after and called Ocasio-Cortez a chicken who has no intention to debate the Green New Deal. These members are cowards. They need to defend the legislation to the people. That's pathetic, she said, according to the paper. Wonderful. That's what it's about. See, I don't think the youth or a lot of people, really I don't understand how, government really has a tradition of debate. You debate these issues in Congress. Like back in the day, they used to like have outdoor debates, sit on little crates, and they'd be wearing their wigs. Alexander Burr, saying all all these politicians, but Paul Revere, you know, I'm saying seriously, it's like standing up on soapboxes and speaking up about various topics, trying to get you sway your influence. These politicians today don't even want to debate. They don't even want to talk to you. They want to push down an agenda on you, the Green New Deal, and not even debate it in the halls of Congress. Not even talk to you about the details, because it's a money grab. It's a power pull. And it's a long-term distraction as well. As long as you keep thinking Republicans don't care about the environment, they got an agenda to push. Not policy. Don't get it. Not policy. Policy affects change. Policy is, it's a better you. But agenda is something totally different. An agenda could be deceptive. You know, agenda doesn't have your cause, doesn't necessarily have your best interest at hand. Well, shit, at least a policy you can look into the details. You gotta write that out. There's some kind of mist in the air. The Green New Deal. You don't look over here. Look over here. You don't even know what it's about. You can't even debate it with your fellow opposing politician. So again, this is another media deception where they're trying to make this lady feel like some kind of evil villain in the halls of Congress that's going around bullying people. She just wants to debate. That's all she wants. And then this politician is avoiding her. So what happened that was so offensive? That she called her out in the hallway, called her a chicken? Oh, I'm sorry. Are we that sensitive? Huh? Those mean tweets don't sound so mean now, do they? I mean, I would never be some kind of asshole, but I won't be some kind of pushover either. If I'm at the license branch and the lady's not giving me the interest that I need, she's giving me the third degree, or she's being overly passive aggressive, I still need my license, right? But I ain't gonna be no pushover. I gotta kind of have a stern attack on this, a strategy. You know, I'm constantly being ignored. She's doing what the people ask. She's doing what the Georgia voters ask her to do when she gets to Washington. Hold up our values. Hold up our cause. You know, anti-Green New Deal. You know, go to Washington D.C. and fight AOC. And AOC won't even look at her. She just turn around, throw her hands up in exasperation. And then Nancy Pelosi has a gall to talk about integrity and having professionalism in the halls of Congress, and she's ripping up State of the Union addresses on national TV, embarrassing the whole country. This double talk, man, we're tired of it. Like they can't be held accountable for their past quotes and their past actions. Like, we totally disregard that shit. Why do we do for some and not for others? It happens in every culture too. You must have witnessed, hit the like, subscribe button. Catch me on YouTube, Spotify. Hit that like, subscribe button. Catch me downtown live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 11 a.m., 120 East Market Street. You know, I encourage you to come down, Wave One Media, get you your own show as well. Speak your voice, lend your opinion about what's going on in the world today. Hot new website, a hot new show, a hot new political perspective. You know, we're growing. And you become a witness with me, we can lead and we can start holding these politicians accountable. We can start making our vote stronger and making our vote count the way it should. So this is Freestyle Friday, and I want to dig into a little bit more of these topics that I've been seeing. Like I told you, and like I said, I mean, when you're looking at this whole political game, it's a battle that's not just in Washington. It's in Hollywood. It's in business sectors. And a lot of leaders, a lot of companies, a lot of corporations, a lot of industries sway based on the policies of the leadership. Where the trends. You want to be on the right side of that because your company you can get the benefits of it. But collectively, Democrats have an army to keep them in power, and one of those army sectors is Hollywood. And if you notice over the past 5 years, maybe even into the Obama administration, you would probably notice that the media influence has greatly increased. Mainstream is what I'm referring to. And it's just like their opinions matter more than their reporting. They don't hesitate to give you their opinion. And a lot of times, in my opinion, from my purview, the opinion that they give you is skewed. one-sided. Democrats. I mean, you probably heard of MSDNC and you know RNC News. I mean, they kind of the DNC, the Clinton News Network, because it's so obvious that they're biased in their CNN signed a contract. I may have mentioned that before. Like with them, every airport in the country to play their news all day in the airport. You imagine that kind of gaslighting and dissemination and kind of influence they can give you over time. You sit in the airport listening to nothing but CNN all day, and they're just kind of giving you just what they think, their opinion, their bias skew. They've changed so much over the past 20 years. It's ridiculous. You got to be objective in journalism, and there's no one really holding them accountable either. These ACLUs, all these liberal civil liberty groups, and all these journalistic groups aren't saying shit. They're just quiet. While journalism runs rampant. See, I'm talking shit and I lose track where the hell I was going with it. But at the end of the day, like I said, you want to come out and get your own show. You want to lend your voice, lend your opinion. The time is now. Time is more important than ever. You think it's all monkeys and dancing with dancing toothbrushes? It's not. The Biden administration is on some other shit. Let me read this to you guys real quick. I'm not going to Seth Rogen next. I found this off social media, and this is kind of more like a venting from a U.S. citizen. So, Israel is on fire, war in the Middle East, major U.S. pipeline hacked, price of everyday goods is skyrocketing, Russia is massing troops on the border in Ukraine, Ukraine is threatening to take Crimea back by force, China is threatening Taiwan and its neighbors while also threatening the ships and Navy, North Korea is testing missiles again and restarting their nuclear weapons program, Iran has been emboldened and making more than their normal threats, our southern border is a humanitarian crisis caused directly by this administration, and the administration has promised transparency, is hiding it, and not letting media have access. Ford is closing a plant and moving it to Mexico after just bringing it back from Mexico because the current administration's plan to increase taxes. Price of steel is up 145%, lumber 126%, wheat is up 25%, the food index is up 25%, cotton is up 35%, silver 38%, copper 50%, soybeans 71%. Oil, 80%. Gas prices $3, you guys. Pipeline jobs lost. Wall construction jobs lost. $1.9 trillion in stimulus funds. The administration pet projects and only paid a fraction to the people. $29 trillion in debt, with $4.8 trillion projected in 2021. Deficit before the $2 trillion stimulus proposed today for the new Green Deal. 9% unemployment with millions of job openings that can't be filled because the federal employment assistance makes it more advantageous for people to stay at home than work. So that's the current state of the country for a lot of people, you know. But like, you know, the people who voted for President Biden now, like, where's the praise? Like, what would you tout? What would you, I wish you guys hit that chat, like, subscribe button. If I ask you like to join the chat and email, let me know. Like, what would you tout? What would you praise in the in the current Biden administration? What would you say? What do you like? If I walk to you on the street, I say, hey, what do you like so far about what's going on in this country? Now we have new leadership. What would you say, Malik? Would you say something? Would you have an opinion on that? Would you be like if someone said, hey man, the Biden administration currently, what do you like about it now we have new leadership? Could you say something that you could think about that would say, hey, I like what's going on?
I can't think of it. I can't think of anything I like, but contrary, I can't think of anything I don't like.
Okay, so. See, and I think that's and that's a very fair statement because I think that people do see two angles of it. I see a level of peace when it comes to the rhetoric. Every day we have this constant attack back and forth. Because we had a brash, loudmouth leader before. But I'm also seeing nothing really getting done. I think what you're seeing. I think you're seeing like a continuation of what we were witnessing before the Trump administration. Honestly, man, I really think we see a quiet erosion of the American capitalistic system, and I think it's deliberate. I think that I don't know if it's this particular administration or the agenda that's under it that's leading it, in the background. But I feel like they don't want capitalism anymore. They want more of a worldly change, a more of a socialistic view, and we're seeing that change happen subtly underneath us. We're not noticing it as well because we have some kind of docile leader right now who's damn near on geriatrics, who's damn near dead. And I think what I just read to you is you're seeing countries taking advantage of that now. Our peace through strength now is, peace through, the elderly. This is some carefree. I mean, I don't have a video, man, but you can pull up almost any video recently of Biden reading or giving a speech. It's ridiculous, man. He's reading from a teleprompter, but he's reading so slow that it's obvious. It's just like he's just like an old person reading a paper, or reading a poem that his granddaughter wrote. It's just not effective, on the world stage. Well, maybe we move beyond. I mean, I would say we move beyond maybe to a peaceful nature where that doesn't matter, but it does matter. Strong leadership matters, and you're seeing the maneuvering of a lot of these countries. And then on top of the economy and on top of the increase in all these prices, and people kind of going towards a different alternative when it comes to the currency. Even though the dollar is still strong, you just kind of wonder if there's like a slow erosion of our constitutional values, our economic strength. And just our overall power in the world, and maybe we're letting it happen in this sort of a way because we're trying to transition to some kind of world government, and a lot of people don't want that, and a lot of people voted, for Trump because of that. And 2022 and 2024 will show if there's going to be a sea change because of those same interests and that same thought. But the other side of it though is did the Democrats and the Biden, the Democrats and the powers that be do enough damage in 2020 to solidify their power on the vote? Where you vote in 2022, will it matter? And we're going to find that out. But you got to keep fighting in the meantime, And this is one of the leaders that are doing so. Marjorie Taylor Greene, and some other Republicans in the House, and you're seeing people like AOC not really defending their policies, but they want to spew an agenda on you, and they want to cry foul and cry bullying or cry racism when it comes to, or unprofessionalism. They want to call a sergeant at arms, and they want to portray these things that are really unnecessary, really are distractions. These congresswomen. This congresswoman is not in there acting like a real bully. That she has a background. She's educated. She's you probably meet her in person. She's probably just a regular person trying to do the will of the people. But it's just the perception. And I told you, the Democrats are good at playing that game. They're better than Republicans at the political gamesmanship, making you think a certain way, feel a certain way. They had you guys thinking President Trump was a Russian spy. A fucking president of the United States, a fucking spy. Come on, man, get your head out your ass. As a country, we should be embarrassed that even let that even happen. Even let that be a thought. That someone can get to the highest realms of office and end up being a damn spy. That makes for a great movie. It's unbelievable. Now, it could happen. And honestly, I'm going to argue that it may have already happened in the Obama administration. Now, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to bring into that until one of those Investigation Wednesday episodes. But wow, when I just said that, you got to be out your fucking mind to think that, we can let a spy in office. I just kind of like caught myself like, oh shit, hold on. Maybe we already did that in 2012, 2008. Tripping. So anyway, we'll go back to that anyway. I got some more thoughts on that. I already had that thought, but I don't, like I said, the Trump administration was a different story. It was a conjured up, pull out your ass investigation, or beginning with a false claim, beginning with a fake dossier, beginning with all this entrapment shit. But it's different when you get Nixon like, you get Obama like, you get Lyndon Johnson like, and you get up in the office and you start doing nefarious shit up in the office. And how the fuck you record yourself? Why would you do nefarious shit, Nixon, and record it? And you're just recording. All that shit's recording. Even Susan Rice. You guys have a fucking meeting in the office before the inauguration of President Trump, and you write yourself a fucking email trying to exonerate yourself, trying to protect yourself and Obama from this investigation. It looks so obvious. I'm just kind of talking in generalities, you guys. But I'll bring it up on Investigation Wednesday one day. We're digging into all that nefarious shit that happened in the Obama administration. because like I said, that's the reason why I started this show is the corruption, the accountability, things not really being fully answered, the masking of a lot of things that were done illegally from a lot of corruption, a lot of leaders, and they're still running around today. FBI, this the top echelon. They're running around giving shows and commentaries and doing news interviews like it's nothing. And they might get away with this shit. The James Clappers, Eric, Eric. I keep getting Eric. This guy named Eric, from FBI. Can't get his name right. Lisa Page. I'm gonna have the whole shit. But anyway, I don't want to jump into that too much. But we gotta hold accountability. I started this show for that reason. So we'll go back to get into these politics, and we gotta see who your enemies are, and see who's good and bad, and who's on your side, and who are the players. So I want to introduce some of the players to you at some point. But see, Seth Rogen though, as an example, he tortures Ted Cruz, calls him a fascist whose words cause people to die. Now, Democrats, they or Hollywood, anybody at all, they lay it on thick. They're over dramatic. I mean, the Capitol riots alone is still on some over dramatic shit, and people are still trying to create the narrative and moderate the narrative to what really happened that day. Because right now, boy, you think people need to be hanged based on how they report some of this shit regarding the Capitol riots. You're just way over the top with the reporting. But even this is an example of how Hollywood puts their stamp on politics more than they ever have been in the past. A lot of times, late night talk shows and actors barely had a say when it came to politics. But just seem to be once their money and influence go into power, and they seem to come to power on the Democratic side. They have no problem spewing their opinion on late night talk shows and these PR articles that are released. Okay, so here's Seth Rogen. I don't have to really even read this article anyway, but back in January, actor Seth Rogen repeatedly took Senator Ted Cruz to task on Twitter with damaging reminders of the Texas Republicans' role in trying to overturn the 2020 election result. Basically doing his job, holding everybody accountable, reviewing things as they should. In some quarters, there are days-long back and forth in which Rogen called Cruz a white supremacist fascist and torched him for his psychopathy to ex-President Donald Trump, who characterized as a feud. Rogen argued on Thursday's episode of the Late Night Show with Stephen Colbert that interpretation was wrong. Feud implies equal ground, says Rogen. If someone is trying to murder someone with a baseball bat and someone is yelling at that person to stop, is that a feud between the baseball bat wielder and the person yelling at the baseball bat wielder? I don't know if that's a feud. Feud implies two people hitting each other with baseball bats. Ted Cruz is a fascist, Rogen continued. He denies the reality of the election. His words cause people to die, and I'm making jokes about it. That's a feud? I don't know. To me, it seems I'm pointing out the fact that he's a terrible man whose words have resulted in death. Now, he's entitled to his opinion. What I'm here to point out is that he has the power of the mic, and so does Stephen Colbert. And their job is to entertain, and Stephen Colbert's job is to entertain by making you laugh. But lately, these shows have been about just attacking the party, attacking the Republican Party and their leadership. And it's been like that for years. But I'm just trying to tell you that level of power, it's hard to defend against a fight, And I'm saying the Democrats, on top of them having the ability to skew and slander and bend words and change the way you view people, they're better at that. And it's an example of them using one of their power legs, one of their antennas, Hollywood, to attack the opposition. And then now you imagine you having that same level of influence in bevy of actors and actresses in that same industry, on top of the business leadership, corporate. Even though Biden wants to increase the tax rate back up to 21%, 20%, I mean, there's some pushback, like J.P. Morgan Chase, and they don't like the Biden administration. But overall, though, Wall Street is supportive of, or neutral at least, of this administration, despite the pipeline. Despite the potential increase in the corporate tax rate, they don't like all this money that's being shelled out. But as long as that stock market keeps going up, they can be neutral. Definitely if the global economy is, in favor of the new Biden administration, which they are. Corporate, man, they're just like lawyers, man. They go wherever the money is, wherever the influence sways, that's where everybody goes to. But you need a level of people to fight back, to hold these corporate people accountable, congressmen too, and keep our capitalistic values intact. Keep our constitution secure. There's too much greed in the world. There's too much corruption and power, and there's too much influence that is deceptive. And this is an example right here. Because there's so much drowning out. You're not gonna find another actor that's gonna speak out on in support of Cruz. Because then they get tarnished. They get shamed. They then lose their jobs, lose their acting roles, lose their offers. That's how you know it's one-sided. Anybody who ever spoke on the opposite side, you don't hear from them again. But someone like I don't know, Madonna or Jim Carrey can paint. And by the way, Jim Carrey can't fucking paint. For you guys fucking know, that's just ugly. Jim Carrey can paint a portrait of Donald Trump bleeding out of his neck or something, and fucking do Saturday Night Live the next day. Okay, so it's just one-sided, man. It's so much hypocrisy, and we gotta keep that exposure out here on the Most Witness Show. Let people know all about the bullshit. What the fuck I look like, right? The fuck I look like. So, that's going on with, that's some of the ways Hollywood attacks through late night media. And so yeah, like I said, man, I mean, it's supposed to be a Freestyle Friday where, kind of leads you into the weekend where it's kind of a positive note, but you just got to remember that, it's not always peaches and cream, and you got to dig deep and look at what's going on. Like, see what's going on with these prices. You got to worry about inflation. You got to worry about this overspending. You got to worry about what's going on in the world, in the Ukraine and Russia and China. And cryptocurrency, I mean, hey, a lot of great things going on, but how does it affect you in the long term? How's your buying power going to look in the future? Can you going to be able to afford certain things? Get your kids into certain things, or, will we still be here, based on, what our economy is headed, where our foreign policy is potentially headed. You see Israel's popping off on the Gaza Strip. Man, I think I'm gonna touch base on more foreign policy on Monday. I think it's time for us to catch up on that. We see COVID trying to loosen. We're keeping our eyes on the Biden administration. We're following up on these investigations on Wednesday. So Monday, I'm gonna dig into regular news on Monday, but I also want to get into some more foreign policy and see what the hell's going on out there. Everybody seems to be on the aggressive trend. Now we got this docile president in office. So we'll see which way the wind blows when it comes to that here at the Most Witness Show. I want you guys to have a great weekend. I want you to enjoy this nice weather. We're starting to really look like spring out here. I'm trying to get my ass out here so I can make sure I avoid giving me another parking ticket. So, but I want you guys to have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday. We're digging into the news. I'm Most Witness. Like I said, hit that like, subscribe button. Like me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. And downtown at 120 East Market Street. Most Witness, baby. And I'm out.